Through administration, you can configure the application for users, manage user access rights, security, organizational breakdown structures, the data warehouse, the data mart, and time slices. You can also configure options for processes, lookups, jobs, and other system settings. You can group these items as needed. In the audit section, you can access all audit information across objects in the system. Filters can be applied to any system attribute to get precise data. Additionally, a dedicated per-period metrics section simplifies access to key information out of the box. From the Users section, you can directly view who is using the system along with all relevant attributes associated with them. In the Skills section, you can access the skills library for managing and reviewing skill sets. In general system settings, attributes can be secured. For example, if you want to restrict access to actual capital costs for a specific subset of users, you can do so directly in this view. Additionally, this is where parent fields are managed, allowing you to govern the logical hierarchy of investment types that you are capturing and managing within the system. In feature toggles, you have the flexibility to enable new features within your product. This approach allows administrators to control which features are active at any given time without modifying the underlying code base. If you want to modify the menu structure on the left-hand side or adjust general branding, you can do so in System Settings under Administration. You can also configure login messages, set the default homepage for specific user groups, and manage the navigation menu. For example, if Brian wants to land on Jason's financial report every time he logs in, we can add a page for Jason's financial report, assign an icon, and check Show. Now, whenever Brian logs in, this report will be his default landing page. In Actions, you can enable sharing views. Users can share views with individuals, groups, or everyone as needed. Additionally, you can govern which groups are allowed to share views. For example, in the Groups section, there is now a checkbox available. If you want to restrict the group from appearing in the View Share list, simply uncheck the box or check it to allow sharing. Now, there is also a system option that prevents unsaved views from being retained after logout. For example, if we remove the type field without saving the view, logging out and back in will restore the original view as it was before the changes. We also have lifecycle management features, where action items and notifications appear in the notification bell at the top. For example, in action items, let's say we want to mimic the IDEA approval process in a more simplistic way. The Action Item Configuration area allows for smart attribute population and contextualization to determine who should receive the action item, whether it's a specific group or an individual resource. Recipients can take actions such as approve or reject, and based on their response, the status is automatically updated. Similarly, in notifications, if you are managing a process and need to send a notification to someone assigned to a task, this functionality is now available out of the box. You no longer need to run scripts or manage the process. It's now a simple point-and-click interface. You can also implement complex mechanisms if needed. Once configured, the assigned individual automatically receives the notification. More broadly speaking, in the timesheet section, you can set up timesheet error conditions such as daily hours cannot exceed 24 hours. If you need to adjust the total hours, you can do so in the timesheet total section. Additionally, you can set up time period conditions, and if you want to apply conditions based on a resource, that option is also available. You can also manage the views that are inputted into the system. You can customize the views and select which ones to share with everyone, which ones to share with specific individuals, and which views should remain private. Staffing and plans are different methods you can use to limit the information provided to end users. In blueprints, you can define specific actions or events to occur in the solution at certain periods of time. as well as update the details that your end users see. For example, for all of our major projects out here, these are the attributes we see. Everything is point-and-click configurable. If we navigate to the Visual section, here are the KPIs that are identified for the projects. If we are in the Modules section, these are the modules that are being utilized. Each of these modules comes with its own set of configuration options for you to leverage. Additionally, in the Rules section, you can define business rules, such as making certain fields or actions read-only if a project is put on hold. One of the other business rules you can leverage is the ability to specify resource rights. Essentially, you can use this mechanism to perform a security update. If any resource is selected in the impacted resource field, you can either grant or revoke that resource's rights. And then you have VIA. We have renamed Clarity Concierge to VIA. This is where you can configure and enable the AI modules or models you would like to incorporate. You can also enable different AI components that are relevant to your organization and define various actions to be performed. So, here if we navigate to our objectives and select Enhance Customer Experience, you can see that we have enabled AI, and the action it will perform is review and revise content.